We're gonna find out what's happening, but we'll need support. Signal the husband.
Story is kind of the cornerstone of everything. And of the 5 years that we spend on these films, I'd say 3.5 or so is story, like rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. Because if you don't have something good that's compelling and interesting and engaging in the heart, you know, we could put together the most showy, amazing animation, you know, flowery explosions and special effects, but you're bored, you know.
Right, we make these movies, and this one is no different, probably 10 to 12 times internally at Pixar before we show, you know, before we put what's up on the screen. We find the movies in some ways as opposed to make them, because obviously the movie comes from Pete and it's written and it's thought through, but you learn so much from each version, and that's what allows you to focus on the story and make it as good as you can make it. I was always very proud of the fact that the point of origin of the film was a personal observation, which, you know, something anybody could see or relate to. And that told me that if we did our job right, we'd have something that would be relatable. And that's huge. That's hugely important to us.
Well, in a way, I feel like our target audience is us. So we test it with us quite a lot and quite quickly. We have a process. I mean, it changes all the time and it adjusts depending on what's necessary for the film, but we're pitching some version of the film, at first verbally, then with a script, eventually with like a comic book version of the film. Before we make the actual film, we do all these different versions of basically telling the story over and over.
But we've never thought about as kids as our sole target audience. That said, in a film like Inside Out, there were so many moving parts, there were so many geographic elements and
there's a complexity to it.
It was just a complexity to it. So we thought, well, we better bring in our kids and the friends and neighbors and kids on the ball team and whatnot. We filled up a theater and we ran it for them, and then we kind of sat in the back and watched them and learned from how they responded. We were very pleased to find out that they totally tracked it, by the way. Sometimes way better than the adults.
Yeah, and actually that reminds me, there's a Chuck Jones quote: "I like to make films intelligent enough for kids, but simple enough for adults." Which
That's
I think
right on, yeah.